Hello and welcome to the Power of BI channel. And in this video, we'll be going through some advanced level queries related to T-SQL using SQL Server or Azure Data Studio. And in this video, we'll be covering up grouping of data. And by grouping, I mean we'll be going through pivot, unpivot, and such sub clauses like cube, rollup, and grouping as well. So these operators can be used in the queries and sub clauses in the SQL. So you'll be able to you know uh, group the data together, summarize the data, pivot and unpivot the result set as well, and as also write queries that specify multiple groups with grouping set, cubes, and rollups. So what we'll do is in order to get started, we'll create a view of sales lt dot sales lt dot view underscore customer region as select customer star from sales lt dot customer and sc. Then we'll join sales customer address as ca on c dot customer id. So ca dot customer id. So now we'll bring c customer id ca dot ca dot region. So first we run this. So first we'll run this. This is main office. Main office. So if I run this query, it will only show me main office. We'll also do another join, which is sales lt dot address a on a dot address id equals ca dot address id, and we will also add a dot country region. Okay. Oh, there's something wrong. Ca region from sales lt. So this is, yeah, so now we've got this one. And if we create a view, this is created custom successfully. Now we query this view customer region, and if we execute this, it is, oops, sorry, I need to specify schema as well. So now we've got all the query related to the what do you call it, the region as a view. So if I modify this query and if I say country region and then count customer ID as customer CX from customer region and group by custom country region, sorry. If I use this, it will show me Canada, UK, US. And now what we want to do is we want to flip this and saying that, this is the customer count, and then we want to pivot this. So in order to do the pivot, we will use the same select static from, and we'll use subquery that says select. Um, we'll give a name column customer count as, sorry, as data, comma customer ID, country region from sales lt dot view customer region, and this is as a source data. So source data I need to, there you go. Now what we'll use a keyword called pivot, and in that we will just swap this saying count of customer ID for country region in, now we'll give some name Canada, United Kingdom, paste it here, and United States, copy, there you go, and we'll store this as pivoted data, pvt data. Let's run this. So see, this is a data column, this is country name based on Canada, UK, US. We need to specify this by saying that this is the the country region name is a column providing in the values with where the customer count is for aggregation, and what do you call it, the region is for the grouping as well. Remember, this country region is enclosed in the delimiter um, to identify it as a column in the result. Next, we will move on to unpivoting data. Unpivoting data is just same as the reverse of pivoting data. Instead of turning rows into columns, pivot turns column into rows. This is the technique useful in taking data that has already been pivoted with or without using T-SQL pivot operator and returning it to the row-oriented tabular display. So for example, we get a data source and that data is in the pivoted format. We can just unpivot the in unpivot operator to use as an unpivot data. So when unpivoting data, one or more columns is defined as a source to be converted into rows, and the data that is column is spread or split into one or more new column depend on how many columns are being unpivoted. So in this case, like Canada, UK, US to be displayed in a row format. Any nulls will be removed in the process, and no row will be created in that. Next, we will move to the group data using a group subclause. So you use a group by clause in select statement to arrange rows in the group, typically to support aggregation. However, if you need to group by different attributes at the same time, for example, to report at different levels, you would normally need multiple queries combined with union all. Instead, you need to produce aggregate multiple groupings in the same query. You can use grouping sets subclause of the group by clause in T-SQL. The grouping sets provides an alternative to use of union all. So this is basically group by and then grouping set. So example, if I start off with grouping, let's check this out. It's going on. So we'll start off with this order quantity query, and this will be giving details of group by at this stage. But what we'll use is we'll use another um, say grouping sets, and then we'll start using sales. So if you see here, we are using grouping sets, and in that grouping set, we are specifying sales order ID, product ID, and a blank phase, and this will give us all the details related to something grouping sets. So if you see, there are nulls in the results. Nulls may be returned because a null was stored in underlying source, and since because we are using a placeholder, so this means that there are some product sales. The This means that it's showing sales category, sales order ID, and product ID with the sum itself, and um, also we'll have everything that means null 287. This means that this represents a grand total row, and the null in the um, category sorry order ID and product ID is just the placeholders ban, and then this means that there is no order against this product. There are um, you know there's no product details that has been replaced as a stake as a placeholder. So next we'll move on to cube and rollup subclasses. um, like grouping set, the cube and rollup subclasses. um, so cube will determine all the possible um, combinations of output, and rollup creates combination assuming that input columns represent the hierarchy. We'll start off with cube, and we'll copy this one, and instead of using grouping set, we will use cube, and then we'll remove all the parentheses here, and this cube will specify the combinations by itself. And I'm not running this order by class. So yeah, so this is the thing, and if I run this, so this will give me all the details related to the product category and the sales order and the product ID. So what we'll say that the output of the grouping in the cube uses the following combinations: sales order, product ID, then product ID, sales order ID, separate separate product, or separate and separate product, and separate category, or sorry, sales ID. And when you scroll down, there are some things with the ID is there but not product ID. So it's a combination of the groupings that follows the cubes. So you see here, these are the product, these are the sales order against these products, and this is the total, these are the total quantities. And if you see this product name, the product ID, and this total, this 35 is the sum of the quantities together. We move on to another product, 708, and in the end 708 also comes in. Then we move on to 711, and then this is the total that is being created. So if you want to structured, if you want to get a sum with a structure, we can use cube itself. To use rollup, you append a keyword rollup to the group by, and providing a list of columns with the same columns to the group. So instead of cube, we will use rollups. So if I run this now, it will give me the the combination will be sales order ID, product ID, then sales, then product ID itself, and then blank. Sales order ID, product ID. This is sales order ID, product ID, number of product 2. This is sales order ID, product ID 1. Sales product on this sales is 1 generally. So it is doing against the first product as column specified. All the sales order ID and all the products in that, we are using rollup. Let's try one more examples in the cubes sections. So remember, we created a view which is called custom region. Let's try some examples here. So let's check this. So it's saying Canada 106, United Kingdom 338 to 63. This is the total that has been shown as 407. If I use this same query to be portrayed as rollup, let's see what happens. It remains the same, because the thing is that there are not multiple columns associated with it. So that is the reason why we are just these are just two columns. Okay, so now what we've done is we have altered the view, and that view will contain all the offices details as well. So if I try to add address type, let's first run this. I think this will be some issue. No, it's not. So if we run what was the column, I'll just check with static, and if I say this will not show up like this. So I think it was address type. Let's go back and see. So it is showing as country region, and yeah, address type. If I run this, um, and this one as a last, comma this, and then specify this. We have to specify the address type here as well for the combinations. So if I see here, it will run Canada main office. This is the Canada shipping. This is the address. This is the customer count. And Canada null means that just Canada. It's showing total of Canada. So Canada is 107, United States 38. There's nothing in, yeah, United Kingdom. United States is 272 plus 9. Sorry, 263 plus 9 is 270. So this is showing as a cube for everything. And if I copy this and use the rollup thing, then let's see what happens. So it will show up Canada first, then Canada shipping, Canada null means Canada total, United Kingdom total, United States everything, and then the grand total as well. So these are two handy tools using rollups and cube, because rollup will give category wise or column wise description or detail or answers, and then it will also give us a grand total as well. So this is it from this part of the video, and I will see you in next video. Hopefully you will subscribe and like, and do provide me the feedback in the comment section. Thank you so much. I will see you in the next video.